Hello, kiddies. It's me, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper. You're listening to Drop the Mic.
Welcome back to our humble San Diego podcast. We're your hosts, Wesley Swanson and Ryan Jimenez, and this is episode 333, Growing Pains, where we will be having a little chat about the 2016 body horror coming-of-age French film, Raw. And with that, everybody please welcome our special guest for the evening, Miss Emma Duenas. How are you?
Hello. Thanks for having me.
So, we thought we should bring in somebody with for the woman's insight for the episode. So thank you for volunteering for that.
Of course. Also, I really like this film, so.
And now for a special news report. Brought to you by Drop the Mic.
Let's get started. Ryan, what do you have for us on the news front?
Yes. I got a good amount. So I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Robert De Niro is apparently reviving his taxi driver role in a new Uber commercial campaign. I guess that guy really needs money.
He does not need money. But
that's not what I heard, but
really?
I don't like to be like the National Enquirer, but didn't he just get like a divorce?
Did he? I did not know that.
Or he has something like that where I was reading something like that's why he's been taking a lot more roles. Especially that comedy that he did. Didn't he do like a comedy that was like bombed in the box office?
What,
came out like
the grandpa one?
Yeah.
Isn't that the one with Zac Efron?
No. A movie came out with that comedian. He's like an Italian comedian, like 2 months ago. See, you guys don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about. And it's like the story about his dad, right? The comedian's dad.
I think it's like his wife's like family and her dad. Like he always tell jokes. So
that looks kind of funny. I would want to watch that. He needs my money. I'm gonna pay for that movie.
But anyway, Travis Bickle coming back is pretty funny. I can't wait to see what how they're going to do it. It makes sense.
It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Also, have you guys noticed that commercials are a thing now, like ads? Because all of the streaming services have like pay this much, or you're just gonna have ads.
You know what? You know what fucking sucks is I pay for like I have Hulu Live, so like it's like $80 or something like that a month because I have cable through it, and like if you watch movies, you still get fucking ads, and I pay like almost fucking $90.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same for Max. You're paying like $15 and you have ads with everything.
Wait,
still.
there's ads in Max?
Yeah.
There's ads in everything now.
I haven't gotten an ad in Max.
Well, because you're probably paying for the premium is like 18 something, and then you don't you don't get ads. But like the bare minimum plan, which is $15, which is way too much in my opinion, still you have ads on everything, which is crazy to me.
That is fucking insane. Yeah, if you're paying over like $12, $13, you should not be having any fucking ads. Like they're already making a shit ton of money. How much more money do they need?
And it's also ads just for stuff on Max, and that's it.
Oh, really?
Like other stuff on Max is like is the only ads that they run.
I also noticed that my Spotify premium subscription went up like $1. Mm-hmm. Do you have Spotify, Ryan?
Yeah, I have a family plan. It's like I think I have a couple people. I think Wes is on my family.
It's like $20.
Shit, I don't know. I don't know how much it is.
I think it has.
It might be $20.
Yeah, I used to have it for my school, and it was like $19.99 or something, and I was paying it out of my own pocket, and so I stopped, and the teachers were like, "Oh, the Spotify doesn't work anymore." I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm broke," and I stopped paying it. But I noticed that my own personal one went from $9.99 to $10.99.
Oh wow, dude! They just take shit automatic. All those streaming services, like, unless something comes up in news, like I know Disney Plus kind of didn't. They're bumping theirs up too. I wouldn't know because I don't pay attention. Like it just takes out. I'm like, okay, now I'm more poor than I was before. The original Halloween novelization, which some people regard as one of the best horror movie novelizations, and it's been like out of print for a ridiculous amount of time, is returning after bringing out. I think it was out of print for years, at least 20. And this time it's going to be illustrated. So that if you dig Halloween and have always wanted that novelization, which every time I go to a used bookstore, that's like one of the first things I look for is that novelization. Because I heard it's fucking awesome. You can pre-order it now. I think it's like $50, but it's pretty sweet that they're bringing that back.
So it's essentially like a graphic novel now?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. And it's
cool.
Hardcover. It's badass. The cover's badass. So yeah, definitely go and pick that up because I will be doing that. And then it'll sit at my desk and I won't read it.
But at least you bought it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
People need to go out and buy books more. Or just read in
general.
general.
I've been reading a lot. It's been crazy how much I've been reading.
Yeah, I noticed that. You're a good influence on that.
It's the depression.
We were just talking about how not enough people, less and less people are reading.
And you know what? This Wes knows, but like I know one of my team members. She reads like physical books, but mostly she likes like her having her Kindle on her. But like I like going to the fucking bookstore and just like looking through books, and like I'll even go without even like I don't even know what I'm gonna get. I just go to like a specific section and just like look at the covers, read the back, see what I like. There's something about that.
Yeah,
I think it's our. It's
like the sensory, experience, and also I feel like when we went to school, like elementary school, we were in the library or like we had like books, not the Kindle, not a tablet. So I feel like it's like a nostalgia type of thing also.
It is. We're getting old. Sucks. Okay, moving forward, I have a whole bunch of wrestling news. So WWE announced that Elimination Chamber is taking place in Australia this year. So in February, it's going to be taking place in Australia. So if we're watching it from the States, I think they said it's going to be on like at 3 a.m. West Coast time and 6 a.m. East Coast time on Saturday. I think it's the second to last week of February. So it's pretty big for them to go to Australia right before WrestleMania. And it's going to bring a lot of money to Perth, so that's badass. But speaking of money, they also signed a new deal with USA to bring SmackDown over from Fox. The deal is worth $1.4 billion. I think it's like a little over $200 million a year. And then on top of that, the exact same day as WWE would, they cut a shit ton of wrestlers after signing that big deal. So Mustafa Ali was a big wrestler. They cut Dolph Ziggler, and they cut Matt Riddle on Saturday, and a whole bunch of other NXT people. But kind of sucks. But the good thing is that AEW is here. I'm sure Tony's going to sign up some of those guys, and there's Impact, and there's Ring of Honor, and there's GCW. So it's out there if they want to continue to wrestle. For all the gamers out there, Call of Duty announced a ton of crossovers coming to Season 6. It's in October. It's called The Haunting. They usually do it around October. They'll change the map. It'll be night, or there'll be fucking zombies or monsters everywhere. This year, there's a whole bunch of characters coming to Call of Duty for the first time as playable operators, such as Spawn, Skeletor, Ash Williams, Alucard from Helsing, and then there's a whole bunch of weapons from Doom that are coming in, and then Inarius and Lilith from Doom are also going to be characters that you're going to be running around. So I can't wait. I'm going to be first one in line to buy Ash Williams so I can have my boomstick and call 10-year-old kids pieces of shit.
First up, A24 are teaming up with AMC theater chains this Halloween season. So the Thrills and Chills banner will be resurrecting some of your favorite A24 past titles, such as The Witch, Midsummer, Under the Skin, and X. You can look for these titles showing all October of 2023. Do you guys have any feelings about this? Are you excited? Don't care?
No, it's cool. I mean, AMC, the thing I will give AMC is that they always do shit like this, and they do be playing the smaller A24 films and movies from little companies like that. So I do give them their props. So hopefully people go and see those movies.
Yeah, and hopefully they clean their theaters.
AMC, listen, we do love you guys.
Yeah, thanks for playing these films, but buy them up.
Also, one thing I wanted to throw out that is super cool is they are going to be showing the director's cut of Midsummer. So if you never got to see that in the theater, which I think it was only out for about a week, I think Emma and I went to go see that. We saw the original cut and then the director's cut in theater. So if you didn't get to see the director's cut, which I believe makes the movie a little bit better, go check that out. Moving on, Rob Zombie's very first film is celebrating 20 years in 2023, and now you'll be able to party properly as the film is returning to theaters for 2 nights, also in October. Sunday, October 8th and Wednesday, October 11th. Find your tickets now through Fathom Events, with the special featurette being added to each screening with writer-director Rob Zombie reflecting on the film. Do you guys love House of a Thousand Corpses?
I mean, I don't love it. It's a movie. Do you love it, Wes?
Again, I think it's probably nostalgia for me, but yeah, I think I don't think it's his best film, but I think it's probably my favorite for how fucking out it's so wacky and weird and experimental, and I just love the performances in it. I'm definitely gonna go check this out in the theater. Brian?
Yeah, no, I'll go see that. I think I've seen all of his movies in theaters, but yeah, I'll definitely go check it out. It's like you said, it's for nostalgia. I don't think it's his best either, but that week is loaded, dude. You got The Exorcist on the 4th, the 50th anniversary director's cut, and then you have the new Exorcist coming out on that Friday, and then you have that. It's going to be a good week.
The new Turnstile Films documentary, Don't Fall in Love with Yourself, is streaming digitally via Vimeo and VHX. The documentary tells the fascinating journey of hardcore legend Justin Pearson and his various ventures being a musician within subculture. Go check this out if you haven't yet. It's very, very good, very informative. And I just showed Emma this the other day.
He couldn't wait to show me this. We went to lunch or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, let's go in here." And then he just went so he could buy the film. And I'm like, "You could have just said that this is what you wanted to do today."
What's it? I still want to buy it through Vinegar Syndrome, but what's the streaming services?
Vimeo and VHX.
VHX. Okay, yeah, because when I saw the news, I was like, shit. I ran to Apple and I was like, wait a minute, you can't fucking rent or buy it digitally.
I will say I did enjoy it.
It's because my name is in the credits.
Oh my gosh. We had to sit there until his name came up.
All right. Moving on. Go check out the new horror film It Lives Inside, which dropped this weekend as well.
Yes, go and watch that.
I don't think any of us have seen it yet. Ryan might be going to see it tonight if we let him go early enough. Yeah, very, very excited to see what they're going to do with this new kind of mythology.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
Last week I've watched it, but I wanted to rewatch it, and since we're doing all these spooky movies, I tend to watch nothing but spooky movies during this time, and I turned on a little film called Zodiac, and that movie still fucking hits. So goddamn good. All the performances are good. Still kind of, that ending is fucking perfect too, dude. I know we talked about it off air, but Gyllenhaal goes into that hardware store, dude, and he looks at him. God damn it. Let me ask you guys something. Do you think that was him? Do you think he did it?
Well, I don't know, because isn't the case remains unsolved, right?
The case, yeah, it remains unsolved, and I think there's to this day, I think how many counties were involved? 4. I think 3 of one closed it, and then 3 of them are still active. But I don't know, man. Everything just pointed to that one dude, and everything I've read too. I also checked out. I don't know if you guys have checked it out, but I checked out Elemental on Disney Plus, and that fucking movie hit me right in the feelings.
I've heard a lot of good things about that one.
It was really, really good, and the subject matter is awesome. And that is another movie too, where it kind of everyone thought it was going to bomb, and it just kept on steamrolling. And I think worldwide, I think it made more money than the Spider-Verse. So it made a shit ton of money. So yeah, check that out on Disney Plus.
Makes you cry?
It didn't make me cry. Maybe it'll make Wes cry. I don't know.
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm just kidding. No, it didn't make me cry, but it like I said, the subject matter, I don't want to give anything away, but it's good. Very relevant to what's happening today. Last couple things I got. I've been playing Cyberpunk. I'm like 5-6 hours in since they updated everything. 2.0 came out, the big patch, and it is fucking awesome. And I think it might go down as one of my favorite games of all time. The patch fixed it. I think 1.5 fixed a lot of it. 2.0 patch really fixed it. They completely kind of redid things, and it looks better. A lot of the models are redone. I know they added tons of new Easter eggs and things like that. So I'm about 5-6 hours back into it, and I fucking love it. And I cannot wait to play that Phantom Liberty with Idris Elba when it comes out.
I'm in the middle of downloading the new PS5 version.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. If you walked away from it a year ago when it came out, a year and a half ago when it came out, 2 years, I don't know how long, re-download it because it is fucking worth it. I think it's going to go down with Phantom Liberty, and with this patch, I think it's going to go down as one of the best modern age RPGs of all time. It's that good. Also, the music is fucking awesome. I didn't know this, but did you know every song on that fucking soundtrack was made for that fucking game?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the Armed are on the fucking soundtrack. Yeah,
you had to fucking bring them up.
Always.
This guy in the Armed. No, that fucking song rocks too. Yeah. But I didn't know that all the music for it was made for that game. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, because I think Converge did a track for that too.
Mm-hmm. And then my last rec is I finally finished. It took me a while, even though it's fucking only 170 pages. But I finally finished The Body by Stephen King. It's essentially Stand By Me. I had never read it. I wanted to read it. It's a little different, and I liked it. So if you want an easy read and you want to relive that, if you've read the book and have seen the movie, go and pick it up because it's pretty good. Have you guys read it?
It's called The Body?
Yeah.
No, I haven't read that one yet.
No, I have not.
It's good. I didn't think I was gonna like it since I've watched the movie before, and I usually, if I do that, I'll read the book and then watch the movie, but I liked it, and it adds a little bit more, and the story, not the story, but kind of the background of the kids are a little bit different. So, and their future, what happens to them in the future is really different. So I dug it a lot. I checked out fucking No One Will Save You on Hulu. It just came out on Friday. It is written and directed by Brian Duffield, who wrote the first Babysitter for Netflix. He wrote a couple other things, but it's fucking awesome. Caitlin Dever is fucking dope as shit in it. Just a little warning, though, there is little to no dialogue in it. It is all... there's actually, I don't think there is any dialogue in it. But fucking check it out on Hulu. No one will save you. It will scare the shit out of you if you are into aliens.
I'm only going to have 2 for today. One continuing on with like Ryan's true crime. The Boston Strangler from it's on Hulu with Keira Knightley. I watched it the other day and I didn't really know anything about the Boston Strangler, and I liked the film. And it showcases how it's obviously based on a true story, but it showcases how like women reporters back then like were not taken seriously. So this kind of shows how women actually were like the first to really be reporting on those crimes, and it was interesting. And the other one, going into Hispanic Heritage Month, which I guess that's like every day for me, but I saw A Million Miles Away with Michael Pena, also based on a true story, about a Mexican immigrant turned NASA flight engineer, and he was like the first Mexican American to go into space. I saw that with my mom, and we liked it a lot. It was sweet, and it showcased, you know, like the struggles that immigrants go through, and I thought it was well made, and it was a sweet, you know, heartfelt film.
All right, I just have one, and it's a movie I think I've wrecked already, but I watched it for the second time. It's A24's Talk to Me. I took my little sister Sam to see it recently again in the theaters, and I really enjoyed this second time around, where obviously you're able to, you know what's going to happen, so you're able to kind of analyze the film a little bit more, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that film was pretty scary. It was effective.
But yeah, everybody go watch Talk to Me. It's available digitally at home right now, and it's still playing in theaters, which is pretty awesome for a little, micro-budget film to be still playing right now.
I gotta ask you a question though, real quick, about the crowd. Did you get a big reaction with the foot?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I was like the only one who was like, "Oh my god!" Like no one else in my auditorium did anything. I thought it was a little weird.
We were in there with a lot of people, and they were like, "Oh, what? No!" It was pretty rowdy. It was fun. It was fun to watch it with the participation. You know.
That's awesome.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
So this week we're talking about Raw. It's rated R. It's from 2016. It's a drama/horror. Runs at 1 hour and 39 minutes, and it's got a very impressive 93% on Rotten. The film centers around Justine, a young French vegetarian woman who is in the midst of just starting her studies to be a veterinarian. The constant hazing and party lifestyle of her new school environment soon unlocks something hidden deep inside her, and Justine realizes she's developed a craving for human flesh. And even more shockingly enough, she's not alone in that discovery. Screenwriter and director Julia Ducournau was born in Paris, France, and studied screenwriting in college, leading to the release of Junior, her first short, in 2011, which won her an award at the Cannes Festival for that year. In 2016, she released her first feature-length film, Raw, which took 2 months to shoot with an additional 2 months of pre-production. The decision was made to film on a campus in Belgium, as Julia felt it had a better visual aesthetic than those located in France. Raw also made it to the Cannes Festival in 2016, where it was praised and snagged Julia yet another award. The film was given a very limited release in the US on March 10th, 2017, and only pulled in about $3.1 million against its estimated $3.8 million budget. Overall, this film is a coming-of-age drama that uses the cannibalism angle in a slick and intelligent way. Although there is some severe and unnerving carnage throughout, the breathtaking cinematography and acting should keep even the weakest of stomachs invested with its original premise. This is not to say there aren't nods to other genre films hidden within the movie, but the blending of multiple genres make for one of the most hauntingly effective pieces in recent years. It always seems like movies that dare to push the envelope and be different end up being praised by critics, but ultimately fail at the box office, which in turn is why we see less and less original ideas and more recycled ideas within pop culture as a whole. Raw is not a traditionally scary film, but it is obviously playing with the body horror subgenre, using cannibalism as a metaphor for fear of the unknown, and also when an individual is trying their hardest to repress their true self. The film also tackles love and womanhood in such a way that it becomes almost universally relatable. That fact, with an interesting and poignant score by Jim Williams, make this one a masterpiece you should not miss. In all my years of being an avid film goer, I've seen and heard Americans say time and time again, I don't like reading subtitled movies, and that to me is a truly sad thing, because some of the best entertainment you'll find is in what we call foreign films. In conclusion, I feel that Raw is this French filmmaker's definitive and grounded answer to the 2000s film Ginger Snaps. 5 out of 5 ski poles. Thank you.
I agree with a lot of those things. Not everything, but... I'll say that the film, obviously it's categorized horror genre, but it's more than that. Like, it's so emotional. And like you said, it's so much in there, you know? Drama, this young girl exploring, you know, her adult womanhood. And I feel like the cannibalism is kind of like a metaphor for wider, I don't know, other social issues that like women go through that are frowned upon, you know? That was kind of my take. For example, there is like a video that's taken of her, of the main character Justine, and I felt like the video obviously puts her in a situation where she gets like super drunk, right? And she's blacked out. And her sister puts her in this position where she's basically like pretending to be an animal and trying to chew off a piece of a dead body. And the whole school is watching this, and not only watching, but videotaping, so that the next day she sees the video. And I feel like, oh, isn't that kind of like a sex tape thing, you know? And then the woman is like horrified of that sight. And I felt like that was pretty much the exact same thing, you know, like that would be just horrible to be in that position. And I feel like a lot of the positions that she's put in where she does come out, like her cannibalism comes out, it's very relatable as like a woman trying to navigate her sexuality and just like who she is.
Ryan, let's ask you, had you seen this before, and what was your overall takeaway from this?
I have seen this before. I actually went opening weekend to go see this. I saw it at the Alamo Drafthouse in San Francisco when it came out, and I was just as disgusted then as I was now watching it, purely based on cannibalism part. I think it does work very well, and it works on so many different layers that we can sit and do a 4 or 5 hour show on this movie just because of how layered it is.
I agree.
With everything that Emma says, I think something that you said in your write-up about how it can be kind of universally appreciated, and kind of what she's going through, we can kind of put ourselves in her shoes. Is like, for instance, me, like I take the cannibalism kind of and her starting school, it goes toe and toe, you know, and I think that is used as a metaphor with like the uncertainty of being that age and not knowing what life is going to be throwing at you in something that she is like, when she has her sister there, but she's kind of lost, you know. But yeah, dude, this movie is a masterpiece, and it sucks that not a lot of people have seen it. I know we did this as a vote on for the podcast. Hopefully, people who voted for it will listen to this or go and watch it and then listen to this. But yeah, dude, I think that this movie deserves all its flowers. I still cannot I've only seen this movie twice. I saw it once in the theaters and once yesterday, and it's still very hard to watch, just because with everything going on and on screen, and everything with her going on, with everything that she's going through on screen, and all the different emotions, and it's rough. And it's just like the movie we covered last week. This is a different type of, we can sit there and enjoy Terrifier 2 and things like that, but when it's just Art the Clown gutting people from head to toe, but when it has to do with real life situations and things going on in society, it adds to the horror, and it adds to the storytelling. But yeah, this movie fucking rocks.
Some people might get caught up in that, like, oh, cannibalism, and that's, disgusting, or it's hard to watch. But that's just like a part of the film. The film, like you guys say, it's like has so many layers, and it doesn't give into like traditional horror movie tropes, as you would say. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes it, I think, a little bit harder to watch, because like Ryan, I'm a girl, and of course I'm going to relate to her struggles, but Ryan just said that he related too, so it's like all around universal things that you can relate to in your own life. And I feel like that's even scarier, because this could happen, to somebody. But yeah, from the very beginning, I thought the movie was very effective. Like the opening scene was super effective, draws you in, and you're like, what the fuck's going on, And then also it has like that big bright red, backdrop, and then like the letters, and it just says raw, and that kind of just like gives you, like, it jolts your senses,
Yeah, the simplicity for that is very striking. I agree. I do remember we went to go see this for the first time because it was a very limited release. I don't think it was playing in San Diego, so we went to go see it at the Frida.
Yeah, we drove like 2 hours to see that movie.
And it was so damn worth it. We're just walking away. It felt like you, in my opinion, at least, that we experienced something special, and it made the trip very much worth it. Something that I find fascinating in this film is that obviously it's about this young woman who's realizing that she's a cannibal, right? There's something weird there where it's like we have to think about that these cannibalistic people do exist in the world. It's not a monster. It's not a werewolf. They're not playing with supernatural elements there. And there's something very like, that's frightening, because it feels that much more real, because they're telling a story about something that could actually happen in a lot of ways. And then, like what Ryan was saying about the fear of, starting somewhere, starting new, starting your life over as far as studying wise is always scary for everyone, right? And then you have something that we haven't touched on yet tonight is the kind of soft love triangle that's going on between Justine, her sister Alexia, and Adrian, who is the kind of openly gay roommate, who it seems like both of the sisters are kind of in love with.
In love? You'd think they were in love with him? They were not in love with him. I'll just tell you that.
Okay, sorry.
They were. I'm glad that you brought this up. But my take is that the sister and, they're at this college and they're training to be vets. Both of the sisters, and you could tell right away they're both different, right? Mm-hmm. But the one thing that you eventually find out is that they're both cannibals. And then the roommate comes into play, and it's like two animals preying on this person, and you can even tell when the sister Justine sees that Alex is also kind of trying to get in the mix, her sister, and she literally tells her like, oh, hands off, like back off. And so I think it becomes like a territorial thing, and I thought even that part of the story was so complex, but I didn't think that they were in love with them. I think it was like animal type thing, preying on their next meal type of thing. And I thought that was really interesting. Also, I feel like the film plays on how like nature versus nurture plays in someone's upbringing. And that's like a whole debate that's been going on, right? Since we were learning about humans and children. So I thought it was very interesting that in the end, when the dad kind of gives her a little explanation of, how her mom came to be and, her sister and her, he explains to Justine, like, when your sister was born, this is how we did things. And then, like, obviously when Justine was born, they did things differently. That kind of goes into play the whole nature and nurture type of thing. And it's a real thing. I feel like people still deny that concept or theory,
So I don't think the sister was in love with him. Like the sister, he was just a piece of meat, right? Literally and fucking sexually. But I do think that our main character, it was kind of a love because it was like the first, her first everything, right? And her first kind of her friend there, someone who she would go to,
and someone who was trying to like get to know her too, like the only person that was really getting to
her only friend,
her only friend.
Yeah.
So I do feel that it was kind of like a first love for her, but I didn't look at it like that, and it's kind of cool to think of it like two animals fighting over something.
Speaking on that, I do think Emma has a point, because if you pay attention to the movie, I feel like Alex and Justine are kind of shot in a way further down in the movie, of course, as kind of animalistic in a certain way, like when they attack each other near the end of the film, and the two people are like kind of like they get them, like they have rags or something and they put them around their neck and they're kind of like controlling him that way. It's very like animalistic, but to go back to the love triangle that I brought up, if Justine was just looking at him as another meal, I don't think that, because when they obviously they sleep together, right? And her instincts kick in and she wants to kind of bite him, but she bites herself in an effort to say, she sacrifices herself so she doesn't hurt him, right? So there are feelings there. And to kind of bypass that and go to the end of the film, I feel like there is a jealousy there, and I'm not sure, maybe it isn't love, maybe Emma is correct, but Alex kills Adrian because of jealousy. She is jealous of, I don't know if it's because Justine and Adrian are so close, or she has that special person, but I feel like that murder is done because of jealousy, and they have that scene obviously in the middle of the film too, where Alex texts Adrian, and then Adrian kind of shows Justine his phone, and then Justine is like, why do you have my sister's number? Like, that's fucking weird, you know what I'm saying? And and he starts to say, it's because doesn't finish the sentence and tells Justine, we should have never done what we did. Like, I'm gay, I don't know what's going on or whatever. So there's the layers there that I feel like, I don't know, did Alex have something going on before?
I don't think so.
No?
But I do think that it was like jealousy was a layer of that, but also like I believe that the whole nature and nurture thing come into play also, because it's clear to me that Justine, she was brought up very strict. So Justine has self-control. And because she does care for Adrian, she is able to control herself, and she bites herself when they're together. But the sister, she's just been reckless her whole entire life. Like, since she was a baby, she wasn't, brought up to, that's what I get from the dad, what the dad explained. But they weren't like strict with her, you know, and I feel like she just got to do whatever she wanted to do. So that's what she wanted to do to Adrian, and she just went ahead and did it. And also, she didn't practice that discipline and that self-control ever in her life, probably.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense, because right from the beginning of the movie, when Justine's parents are dropping her off, Alex doesn't show up to like take her on the tour. The rabbit kidney scene, she forces Justine to eat the rabbit kidneys, knowing that her sister is like full vegetarian, and it keeps going on and on and on. That Alex is just a very, very unhinged and a rebellious older.
Yeah, the car crashes. You know, the opening scene is somebody running across the road, and they make a car swerve and crash, and you don't know what's going on until later on. You find out that it's Alex, and that's how she gets her meals, by making people crash, and then she fucking sucks their brains out. That's very reckless. That's giving into her impulses. And the sister the sister doesn't do it at all. Like she gives her the food right there and was like, they're not going to make it, you know, like, go eat. And she doesn't. Justine walks away. That's crazy. That's how she eats her food, you know, like the people. That's just like killing two people for no reason.
This is a very intense movie. But also, I feel like when you read things about it and you hear like people passed out and all of this stuff, I feel like it's very not tame, but very still tastefully done, because all of the gore and stuff that we do get is kind of spaced out, you know, throughout the film, in a way that it doesn't beat you over the head with, oh, this is body horror, you know, like it's done in a good way that I feel like should make it more accessible to people, because the big key scenes are Adrian, when we realized that Alex had like started eating him while Justine was passed out, and then Justine, the like hot wax scene, with the finger, very shocking, and then of course that one. Something, again, I can't believe we haven't talked about this, but in the nightclub with the I think it's a girl is licking a dude's eyeball, which I feel like when we first saw that, we were like, yo, what the fuck is that going on? That's like some fetish we've never heard of. But,
yeah.
But yeah, there's key things in here that are very off-putting, but I don't think it's super graphic. And maybe that's just because we're sick bastards and we're super...
Maybe.
We are desensitized.
Again, I'm just like, oh, there's so much in this film that goes beyond just that, you know, that gore. Even when Justine she eats meat for the first time, and then she doesn't, right? She doesn't continue, and she goes through fucking withdrawals. Like, that's what it seems like.
Yeah, another key scene that can be considered body horror is the rash. When she breaks out, that sound design of her scratching.
Oh, God.
Is so terrible, but done very, very well, is what I mean. But it's super haunting when she breaks out, and it's pretty much her sister's fault. And she's just going through this, what the doctor in the movie calls food. She gets food poisoning, of course, because she's a lifelong vegetarian, and then you make her eat fucking raw rabbit kidneys. But then it's like it unlocks something in her, and then there's that scene where she steals the like Salisbury steak patty. It looks like it puts it in her
pocket.
And she gets caught. And then she just
pocket has all gravy in it and
shit. Then she just throws it away, you know, she doesn't even give in to that. Something that I thought was very interesting was like from the moment that you even hear about the sister all the way to the end, to when you find out, to before you find out like that Adrian died. It just builds up the fact that Justine like doesn't trust her sister. Like everything that happens, it just makes her trust her sister less and less. to the point where her sister stays over and she takes the key and was gonna lock her in there, but then ultimately like doesn't follow her gut instinct and doesn't lock the door. And then she wakes up to her sister just fucking ate Adrian's thigh. I gotta say that scene, out of all of them, I feel like that scene was the one that really got me. I was like, damn, that's rough.
Yeah, because he's covered up and she kind of slowly realizes he's not breathing. And then, of course, we, as the audience, are slowly realizing this at the same time, and it's pretty shocking. And the makeup, it looks so good and real.
It's fucking awesome. You can see the bone and like the tendons.
That was great.
And then they kind of trick us into thinking that maybe, at least the way that I interpreted that scene, is that maybe Justine was thinking about killing Alex because of what she had just done, and she kind of puts the ski pole to Alex's head. She finds Alex in the kitchen, I think.
That imagery, that's how like some animals are killed, like a shot to the forehead. And I thought I don't know if that was intentional. It had to be, because of the whole, vet school and everything and animals. And I was just like, oh my God, that's fucking brilliant. Like putting an animal down. Like that's the imagery that I got. And I hope that that's what, was trying to be conveyed.
But Justine ends up forgiving her. And though, of course, they couldn't hide that Adrian was killed. So then Alex goes to prison. But then they show us that... the family is still, including Justine, is going to visit her in prison, and Justine does that thing on the glass with her scar where Alex had bit her, and it's like signifying that there's still that bond there, that they've forgiven each other. And that leads us to the kind of even bigger twist where we figure out through Justine's dad that this is a thing that's been kind of genetically passed on to the daughters with their mother, suffered from this same thing, and
suffers still.
Yeah,
because you could tell the dad opens up his shirt while he's talking to Justine, and you could see all his scars from the mom basically taking chunks out of him. And some of those wounds looked fresh. I wrote down after that scene, after the movie ended, I just wrote down from what I got from the dad, because you know how he gives his little speech. And I just wrote, oh, it's life and you just have to deal with it. And that's basically what the dad told her. I hope you find a solution and go about your way, What else can you do? And that's just so relatable, because a parent and a child, how much can a parent really help a child, Once you're an adult, oh, sorry, buddy, you're just gotta fend for yourself, type of thing.
I think I took that scene, I think you can take it like that, or I think you can take it the way I took it, as the dad obviously stayed, even like you said, some of those wounds look fresh. And his chest is all covered. I think I took it as kind of eventually she'll find that person that'll accept her. Mm-hmm. And as fucked up, insanely fucked up as it is, and it sounds, to find someone that will accept her and love her the way the dad loves the mom.
Yes.
True love.
And I think that's what he was referring to as that's the solution for her, for the mom. That's the solution that they kind of found that works for her. And hopefully, he says, hopefully Justine can find someone, that, like you said, accepts her for what she is.
Also, can I just say how brilliant it is that we have Justine, our main kind of focal character, right? And the writing, even though she commits a lot of these heinous acts, I feel like we still have massive empathy for her through this entire thing. And that's so impressive that I feel like, I can only speak for myself, but me personally, you don't ever dislike her. You and I know you guys both said that you both related to her or whatever, but what do you think about that? Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think ever I didn't feel any like negative feeling towards her. It was mainly like the sister. The sister was like the bad guy that you love to hate. You know, it was like kind of fun to hate her. But yeah, Justine is just kind of like super smart, you know, straight A student. She applies herself. She tries really hard. And that makes her an outcast, unfortunately, you know? And I feel like a lot of people can relate being an outcast, being different, or being like, even her professor was like, you cheated, you know, like, you no one's this smart. Like, how did you do it? You know, basically telling her that she cheated, and she just couldn't believe it, you know. But like, even the fucking professor thought that she was cheating, but no, she's just like smart, you know. And I feel like that's an advantage also for her because she's smart, so she's kind of thinking things through, you know, a little bit. I liked her, and I could, like you said, I continue to empathize with her throughout the whole film, even till the end. I'm like, oh shit, like I want to know what happens to her now, you know?
Yeah, no, dude, I feel the same way. I think the only time I disliked her is when she ate the fucking finger. But that's just me being, don't do it.
Also, do you guys think that when the sister's accident happened and, you know, she cut her finger off and Justine started to eat the finger, and then the sister obviously fainted, and when she came to, she saw Justine eating her finger, and the sister had like this look on her face. I think she was like almost crying, or she was crying, and you could almost think like, oh, is she crying for her finger, or is she crying at the realization that what her sister is, you know?
I think a little bit of both. I just lost my fucking finger, and Jesus Christ, what did I do? Like, I unlocked this thing that I've been struggling with, and now she has to struggle with it.
Was Alex trying to do that? Because why would she make her eat the rabbit kidneys? Alex, through the entire film, she provokes this kind of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it could be because she didn't want to be alone. But then, like, when the wax scene happens, which is super crazy, it's like she wakes up, you know, and realizes, oh, yeah, like, this is for real. Like,
Right.
I've succeeded. Like, now, you know, now I'm not in this alone. Because, of course, Alex is the older sister. She had been at that school as well, dealing with this alone. And now you kind of have a companion, or this companionship that she didn't have before, or whatever. That's my takeaway, I guess.
I have noticed that other cannibal films are kind of similar. They're all very similar because they're so emotional. Silence of the Lambs, you know, the whole Hannibal thing. That's just a very emotional movie, you know, all of those movies. And also, like, the latest film that I really actually liked, and I just thought about it right now, Bones and All. I don't know if you've seen that film. Also, you know, have to do with cannibalism, and just, it's like a love story, you know, and it's just very emotional and relatable. I read for Raw that they, you know, when they, there's a scene where they sedate a horse and stuff, that's actually real. Mm-hmm. And they just like inserted the cast members in frame while that was happening. But it was like with real, you know, training students and doctors there. So I thought that was interesting. There's also the aspect of like Justine is for like animal rights and all of that, which I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah, because there's that a pivotal, small moment, but I think pivotal in her story where she talks about how, like, what about if like a monkey were to be raped? Is that on the same level as a human? And she, without flinching, she's like, yeah, it's the same. And everybody thinks that she's crazy for that. So that I feel like that shows you how on board she is with animal rights, which is why I'm upset about the dog, Quickie.
Yeah.
He wasn't quick enough.
Quickie didn't do nothing. And he was with the sister at the party, at the dungeon party.
Chilling in the big ass rave.
Also makes you think, why did the sister have that dog? Like, did she eventually plan to kill him and eat him?
It seemed like a family dog to me. that he had been around for a while.
Anyways, this film is good. You should watch it.
It's in, as far as I know, it's not streaming.
No, it's not. It's on sale right now on Amazon for $20 Blu-ray, and I think it's only $3.99 on Apple. That's where I rented it. It's there if you want to see it.
Everybody go check it out. I would put it, Ryan, you said that that It Follows for you is like one of the best horror films in the last, what would you say, 15 years or so? I'd say
Yes.
Raw is up there as well, just with that unsettling tone that they're able to capture throughout. It's just very good.
There are a few movies that I think I can speak for both of us, me and you, Wes, that we're kind of like this desensitized, right? There are a few movies that get us, and you're absolutely right that this is up there with It Follows, where it just, something about it, dude, just very, very unsettling.
And then, of course, you have like this coming from the female perspective, which brings it to a different level, especially because I feel like a lot of the body horror subgenre seems to be from, for lack of a better term, projected from like the male gaze. So this is a very fresh kind of breath of fresh air, where you're watching this cannibalism film, but it's through the eyes of a woman, and she does this it's like a perfect job. I already talked about the score in the write-up, but even the music that they chose, the existing music, it all fits so well. It's like shot for shot, everything was thought about in this, and it's so damn impressive. So go check it out if you haven't. Who cares about subtitles?
Yeah, don't be an ass. Don't be an asshat. Watch those movies with fucking subtitles. Also, I'm like, I don't know if you guys are like this, but I need subtitles on everything. Even fucking everything I watch, there's subtitles.
I need subtitles right now.
I've loved subtitles for years, and it just, especially with certain things,
like that movie that you just went to watch again. Talk to Me? That movie, I needed subtitles for that movie.
Because of the accent?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, what's the, not Oppenheimer, but Nolan's last film. Tenet, yeah. So much better with subtitles.
Yeah, because that fool fucking records his audio at the fucking lowest fucking volume he can. It's like they're fucking whispering. You know who would be a good leading man for his movies?
Wes.
Yep, exactly. You.
So what are we talking about next week? Can I just say how I'm pretty sure Emma was jumping with joy that fucking...
That's right.
That Infinity Pool
Infinity Pool what?
Infinity Pool didn't win.
Shitty Pool.
No, you know what? I was jumping for joy because I wanted to give it 3.5 hand jobs out of 5. Damn it.
Infinity Pool is not all the hype that it was said to be, okay?
But you have to admit, Mia Goth is still pretty fucking good.
She's crazy.
And watchable in that.
And Skarsgård, it's like completely opposite what he usually does. Like he usually is like this big fucking sex machine fucking dude, bulky ass dude. In this movie,
dumb.
He is like, she literally dog walks him, and that's what's fucking so good about it.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw out
if you want to see a movie where a man is dumb, then go see that movie, Infinity Pool.
I mean, you don't need to go see a movie. Just walk out your fucking door.
Yeah, it's embarrassing to be a man.
It really is.
So you guys got any picks for next week?
I'm going to pull out the big guns. No one's going to know what this fucking movie is, but I talk about it all the time. It is in my top 4 of all time. I want to go back to 1928 and finally do the Hitchcock classic, Rope. That is my pick. And if you guys don't vote my pick, I'm leaving the show and I'm never coming back again.
You said Rope?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go modern. Since you said that you thought it'd be cool to do like a contemporary movie. Super contemporary. So I'm going to bring out the big middle finger, and my vote, or my movie, will be Evil Dead Rise.
You son of a bitch.
It's a win-win for you now, so thank you.
It is. That is a win-win.
I saw an article that, well, just like the clickbait shit that was saying that Evil Dead Rise was like, is it on Netflix now or is it going to be on Netflix?
It's on Max.
It's on Max.
Well, I don't know how they were saying it's going to be on Netflix, whatever. I don't know if that's true. But they're like, this is the scariest movie ever. Like, hard to watch.
I've heard people that have seen it have been very impressed, and I'm talking about like normal people that I know or have all said it's so good, it's so scary, and I mean, yeah, it's good, it's good. I don't want to say too much because in case I win, so.
No one's gonna pick my fucking movie from 70 years, Wes. Of course you're gonna win.
Hey, you never know because you were surprised that Raw won. Remember?
I was surprised.
He was all, damn, I can't believe everybody's voting for Raw.
Mostly because I knew that you had told me you guys walked out that movie, and Emma was like, fuck that movie.
But anyway, so next week, it's either Hitchcock's Rope or the contemporary Evil Dead Rise. If you're stumbling upon this podcast, we run out of San Diego, California. We go by Drop the Mic. We release new content each and every week, and we are on a plethora of podcast platforms, including YouTube, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it. We're on there. So check us out. Give us a nice little 5-star rating, or if you have an extra, few seconds, a little positive review. It helps us kind of stay relevant in the search bar for whatever platform. We hope you come back next week. And also thank you, Emma, for joining us. I don't think you've been on since what was the last one? Your favorite movie, Starry Eyes, right?
Oh yeah, I like that film. But no, thanks for having me. This wasn't a good film to come on to. As you can tell, I had a lot to say. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. And thank you, Ryan, for being very patient with us this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Until next week, this is Wesley Swanson, Ryan Jimenez, and Emma Duenas signing off, saying good fight and good night.
Bye.